G'day comrade subscribers, hope you're all well. I thought this was an interesting machine, so definitely we should look at it. So yeah, it's the Vektor 06Ц. Sorry, I really need to learn how to count in Russian. So like as you probably know, I counted finish instead. So Vektor 06Ц. Personalny computer. So this is actually from Moldova, Moldovan Soviet Socialist Republic. So Chisinau, I think it was designed in, but I think it was actually built in a few different places. So this is an 8080 based machine. Well, their implementation of the 8080, and I think it's most famous or most well known because of its graphics capabilities. And certainly the screenshots I've seen look pretty good. So I thought we should have a look at it. So it's got the standard for that time, JCUKEN keyboard, or YCUKEN rather than QWERTY, with all the standard kind of, you know, we've got SS there, Rus Latin there, VK, Spros for reset, Vvod. Yeah, this one actually looks like it could be a good candidate for retro brighting. We'll have a look at the back. Well, if we have a look at the machine in general, you can see there is quite a bit of yellowing, and it's stamped, so we could probably retro bright it without too much damage. There is this plate here, so this is actually a Vektor 06Ц 02. So this is a later revision, I guess. Whilst we're here, so because it's an 8080 machine, we have plus minus 5 volts and plus 12 volts required. Hence the what's that? Is it a 7-way DIN? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So seven input DIN for the power, which is more than required. But anyway, we'll do a converter plug for that. Okay, then we switch to Latin, I guess. CTV. So I'm not sure what that is there. We'll have to open it up and have a look. I guess we can have a, maybe it's some sort of switch or something. Then we have the magnetophone, so the cassette input. Can I angle? Yeah, that's a bit better. RGB, so we've got color output, and then looks like J2 and J1, so it looks like we've got joystick inputs. Then we come over and we switch to Cyrillic, so PU. So I think this is the printer interface. Pretty beefy, isn't it? I think it's 30 pins in total, 10 by 3. Of course, it's going to be 2.5mm pitch, not 2.54. So difficult to get connectors for that here in Australia. And then we've got the system interface, VU, here. I think that's 40 something by 3. So over 120 pins, although it does look like not all of them are occupied. So anyway, we'll have a look at it. And then of course, yeah, we've got, so I'm thinking maybe this is a 91. Originally came out in 87, the original design, the Vektor 06Ц. This is obviously, like I said, a later revision of 02. And apparently 750 rubles is the price I've been quoted. Soviet rubles, that is. Which isn't actually that much, but it would have been if you're earning Soviet wages. So I guess that's quite a few months of Soviet wages. I think that's about all there is. It's got a nice little, it's got a nice little, was that too close? There we go. If we go, what if we do like that? There. So it does have a nice little built-in stand. Not too bad. I'm not sure what condition it's in inside. So yeah, it does look like we're missing a couple of screws up the top here. Let's zoom back in again. Does look like we're missing a couple of screws up the top, so no idea what the condition inside is going to be like. We shall find out. Keyboard is quite nice. Probably can do with some work, because I think some of the keys are getting stuck. We'll have a closer look, but it's quite a nice feel. You can, I guess if you're not an accurate typist, it's not very forgiving if you're hitting the key side on. Sometimes by the looks of it, you've got to hit the key dead on, as long as it doesn't get stuck. Well, let's have a closer look. So yeah, you can probably do. I'll probably have to pull them off to give them a bit of a clean. But quite nice. I like it. Yeah. So we've got Rus, just to indicate what character set, whether we've got Cyrillic or Latin character set, and then we've got an LED over here set, I guess, for the power on or off. Yeah, so yeah, could do with a clean, and so it's quite a bit of, looks like quite a bit of yellowing. So maybe we can give it a bit more of a clean up with some retro brighting, but yeah, let's open it up. Okay, so I've removed 4 screws. Like I said, there's 3 up the top that are perhaps missing, and then we've got two nuts here, which I guess is holding the circuit board in, I assume. So let's just tip those over. Okay, coming out, except for that one. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it powered up today, because I'm going to have to do a 7-pin DIN plug from a 5-pin socket. 5-pin DIN socket. I don't know if I've got any 5-pin sockets handy. Certainly not cable mounted ones. I've got panel mounted. But let's see. Alright, so that top comes off. Oh, okay. So that little thing isn't on there. So this I could give a scrub. Well, looking on the inside, it looks to be the same colour as the outside. That's interesting. Okay, right, so top comes off. We'll definitely give it a scrub. Hey, I love it. So, SNMP 34S-90P. So that's that one. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, the middle row is missing. So we've only got the top row and the bottom row of the 3 rows. Okay. Oh, we've got a little speaker there. That's cool. All right, and then, yeah, this does look like to be well, kind of like a pin socket. So we've got 3. Well, we'll have a close look anyway. And it's got the KM type capacitors still in there. You beauty. If you're new to the channel, you don't know what a KM type capacitor is. They're these beautiful Soviet era capacitors that have got palladium and silver in. We'll have a closer look. You can see the keyboard's held in there, so we won't be able to have a look at it at the moment. But yeah, so these KM type Soviet era capacitors. So they've got, depending on the type, they've got either silver or palladium in them. So you quite often see that just legs would have been snipped off and sold for scrap, which is pretty sad, really. But these ones are intact, so they've survived. Actually, the interesting thing about this machine also is that it doesn't really have a ROM. It's got 64K of RAM apparently, and a 512 bytes of ROM, which is basically just a bootstrap loading something off tape, like loading BASIC or something. You can install, there are ROMs now available you can install that have got some sort of utility to them, but the basic machine didn't come with anything. So anyway, there's the CPU, basically the 8080 implementation. I wonder why it's got a cross on it. Let's have a look. So we've got, okay, so this will be some sort of, maybe that's the ROM or something. 8255 there, so that's the peripheral interface, like for the keyboard or for the printer or for that, but we'll see when we get the keyboard off. But yeah, so that's the CTV thing there. So it looks like you can pull that out and put it in the other one. So that's obviously some sort of setting there. Awesome little speaker. How's it held up? Oh yeah, okay. Right, okay. Let's get the keyboard off, I guess. Looks like it's wired in, but we'll get it out. Okay, so those two bolts are undone. Oh baby, look at all those KM type capacitors. Beautiful. As you can probably see, these plastic standoffs, okay. Also their electrolytic capacitors don't have any plastic coating, so all these, I like these capacitors as well. They're usually quite heavy actually, so I don't know if they've got some precious metals in them too. But because there's no protective coating on the traces, they have to put some sort of tape underneath these capacitors so they don't short out. But yeah, let's have a closer look. So I'm not sure what's underneath. Let me get a bit of fluff out of the way. So yeah, so we've got another 8255, so I guess that'll be the keyboard interface there. And then that'll be, I guess, the printer and maybe that one. But anyway, so 8255 programmable peripheral interface or adapters or whatever they are. 8253. So apparently you used 8253s. I think they're programmable interface timers that use them for the sound. So I don't know if it's just the one, but yeah. Oh, that's pretty neat. That's a neat way of protecting the crystal from shorting the board. I quite like that. But yeah, look at all those beautiful. Man, this would have been a gold mine for someone if they'd got their hands on it. They would have snipped all these capacitors out. They're basically all just decoupling capacitors. Not 100 nanofarad, probably something slightly less or slightly more, I'm not sure. But look at them all, beautiful. And yeah, then the electrolytics there. So that's the power input there. What else? So it's supposed to have 64K of RAM, which we can see over here. So this is DRAM, I think, KR565 RU6, is it? Rather than RU5. RU6, okay. So I'm not sure what exactly that is, but it's supposed to have 64K of RAM. So we've got a bank of 4 by 4, so we've got 16 there, we've got 16 there, by the looks of it. So we've got 32, so I don't know, maybe they're 2 kilobytes each, I'm not sure, I'll check anyway. Then we've got some other logic here. And again, so that's probably the bootstrap code in there, I guess, just to get the tape loading. Yeah. I'll look at the keyboard, I guess. Here we've got the keyboard the right way up. So I guess this could be, I know what Jeremy's thinking. He's looking at this going, yes, that's designer replacement using cherry key switches. Just depends whether this is going to be working or not. I don't know what style it is. I'll have a closer look. Of course, we'll pull one of the keycaps off. So I don't know whether just giving it some kind of lubrication on each key switch will improve it or not. We'll have to find out. Let's see if we can get one off. So it looks like they kind of alternate directions, maybe. Anyway, let's see if we can get one off gently. I might be better off doing this off screen so no one moans about what I'm doing. That's coming off. I'm just easing the clips. Alright, I'll have a fiddle off screen, I think I might be getting it. I'm just easing it either side. Okay, there is a spring, of course. Make sure it doesn't go flying. There we go. Okay, so that's what the keycap looks like. Maybe something conductive there. You can do with a bit of a scrub, I guess. There's the key switch. Okay, I'm not sure. So that's what it looks like, sorry. So that's obviously come off around something. Just put that to the side so I don't lose it. But it looks like, that's a, okay, so it's reed switch. Okay, right, it's magnetic. So you can, I think looks like there's a reed switch there. So that's what that's in the top here is doing. That's just a little magnet. So as it goes down, it closes the reed switch. Nice. So it should basically still work, I guess, if the reed switch is okay. It's just the just maybe some lubrication is required. I'm not sure where this little circular thing's supposed to go. I might have to pull a couple others apart just to have a look. But my guess is maybe it's all tangled up in the bloody spring. Can I get it off? There we go, got it off. I would have thought that maybe it sits at the bottom like that. I'm guessing. Just sits at the bottom. Then I'm assuming the spring goes on top. And then obviously you've got to make sure you get the magnet around the right way. That should go on like that. Like so. Okay, that's going to be a bit of effort to clean that. But if the machine works, well worth the effort. So the whole board comes out. Let's just have a quick look at underneath the board. Just trying to see if there's been, okay, so there's been some rework over here by the looks of it. You can see some flux. Nothing else really stands out. That seems to be the only thing. Okay. Right. Cool. Okay, this is the, wow, let's have a look at that. That's the rubber foot. Quite, jeez. Okay, all right. Interesting. Right, so there we go. That's a quick look at that. Oh, yes, I love this. A resistor array. Beautiful. Interesting. I love it. So yeah, so that's a quick look at the machine. I need to, obviously, like I said, I've got the pin out, so that's not an issue. Also for the RGB, but I'm gonna have to convert that to 5 pin so that I can plug my power supply in. So yeah, let's see. I'll definitely be working on this one more. Again, I don't know if it works, but I'm definitely gonna give it a good try. Bye for now.